Hey, y'all, a little bit of business right quick. This episode of The Move is brought to you by 7 Points CBD. I got to tell you, this wave of a new industry, not new industry, but this industry of cannabis is so quickly evolving. I was like genuinely curious about what, and forget, the sort of the stigma around certain parts of it, but I was genuinely curious about the benefits of CBD. And so I have actually been using the 7 Points tincture for about 3 weeks. And when I asked like the people that I trust the most, like, does this work? They start talking about better sleep, better recovery, gut health, clarity, just overall wellness. And I got to tell you, and as I've ramped up my marathon training, I'm super impressed. So not just with the tincture, but little aches and pains, the lotion they have, which by the way, doesn't smell funky at all, which is cool. They've turned me into a believer. So thanks to 7 Points for coming on and supporting the show. If you guys would like to try some yourself, go to 7pointscbd.com/discount/the-move. And by the way, 7, it's a great number. 7 is, you spelled out 7, S-E-V-E-N, not the number 7. So go to 7pointscbd.com/discount/the-move. Okay, welcome back to the Move podcast, brought to you by Patron Tequila. Jack, you like Patron, right? You like tequila.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My guest, actually 2 guests today on, this is a special edition of the Move, right? And talking all about myself, which is my favorite, no, we're talking about the Austin Marathon. And so part 1 of this show is with Jack Murray, the owner and the race director of the Austin Marathon. The second part will be with my coach. I now have a full-time coach, Matt Hensley, who I'd never met before in my life until like 5 minutes ago when he walked in the house. But Jack and his crew at High Five Events and everybody at the Austin Marathon and Seton Ascension asked me, the reason we're here talking and the reason I'm doing the marathon, you guys asked me to be the charity chaser, or what you call the charity chaser.
Yep.
Which, explain a little bit of that. I mean, not only would I like to know, but I think just for setting up the show, it would be good to understand what's up with the charity chaser. When do I start? What do I have to do? How much money are we going to raise? Lay it on us.
Yeah. So the charity chaser, it's in its 5th year, and the nuts and bolts of it are that you are the final participant to start for the marathon and the half marathon, and the whole event has about 17,000 runners.
Oh, wow.
There'll be about 14,000 in the half and full, with about 4,000 runners in the full. Mm-hmm. And for every marathon runner that you pass, High Five Events will donate $1. And you'll end up passing a lot of the half runners. The course changes at about mile 9 or 10, where the full marathoners head up Guadalupe. And then we have a charity page set up on CrowdRise where other people can donate, and all the charities compete to see who gets the funds for the charity chaser. Mm-hmm. And it'll take you'll start roughly about 15 minutes to maybe 20 minutes after the final starter.
Wow. And so the half marathon doesn't count?
Half marathon doesn't count.
Yeah. And we're talking, I'm looking at the stats here. This is... Let me ask one question, just because I'm a performance guy. All the other, I don't know who did it before the charity chasers. How fast are these people? I want to be the fastest charity chaser ever.
Yeah, and when we announced it on Facebook, Steve Chase chimed in. He was one of the faster charity chasers. He also had the record for funds raised, which I believe was around $10,000.
Okay.
And I want to say he was somewhere between 3:05 and 3:10 on his time.
I got it. Tell Steve Chase. I don't know who is Steve Chase.
Steve Chase was one of the original charity chasers. Before we took over the event.
Well, of course he should be the charity chaser.
Yeah, exactly.
His name is Steve Chase.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And he
I
did
have him though. I'm and we're going to get into this, the second part of it. I am real, just so you know, I'm taking this serious. Like, training program, structure. I got freaking Training Peaks looking at my program.
I'm glad.
First speed workout yesterday down on the track at Austin High.
You won your age group at Turkey Trot?
I've won my age group at Turkey Trot, which was a big goal of mine. But No, this is I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and it's even more exciting just being spending more time in Aspen now. It's always good to come back to Austin, and the other thing, just for the loyal listener, you'll know that and you can look at all this on the Austin Marathon site, but the race actually comes right in front of the We Do World headquarters. Yep. I think we're at mile 25.
Roughly, yep.
Yeah, so hopefully my crew, I don't know, they may be out doing something else that day. They need to be in the front yard, like, jamming. I'm gonna run the half. Mark Higgins is going to run the half. I didn't know that. Yeah, I did know that.
We should put some money on whether your time beats his halftime.
No, that's no chance. No. He can run better than that. He can run better than that. Talk to me. And when did you guys buy the Austin Marathon?
This is our third year to produce it.
Got it.
At the end of 2016, and we produced the 2017 and 2018 event. Yeah. And John Conley and Stacy Conley were the previous owners. Right. I worked with them probably for about 16 years on the event. Before that, we were in charge of the lead bicycles forever for the event. And John did a lot to take care of our store while we had our bicycle shop. Yeah. And it was just a lot of fun. I would do anything for that marathon and trade for booth space at the expo so I could go there and peddle my goods, you know. Right. And then when John Conley, I was getting a little older, thinking about retirement. You know, we'd been friends for a long time, and my partners, Dan Carroll, Stacy Keys, we talked about what our next move was. Right. And John was really interested in keeping that race in the hands of a local event production company, and it worked out. Yeah. And not only, you don't just have the Austin Marathon, you've got the 3M half marathon. Yep. And we also produced the Cap 10,000 for Austin American Statesman, and then a slew of other events. Kerrville Triathlon. Kerrville, Rookie Tri. The Rookie Tri. Jack's Generic Tri. Yep. Just so you know, because I was, I wanted to do the 3M half marathon, right? It's just about 4 weeks, or it's about a month before the marathon. Perfect spacing of, for a hard, longer effort, race pace, right? And so my son, and this is so random, like this is just amazing that you can do this these days, but my little guy has a hockey tournament in Phoenix that weekend. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, dang, so I'm gonna miss the half marathon. But I, just go online, Phoenix run schedule. The Rock and Roll Marathon is in Phoenix that weekend. Awesome. With the half marathon. So I signed up. Well, I didn't sign up. Mark signed me up. I signed you for the full. He signed me for that. No, I'm not doing 2 fulls in a month. But no, so I'm doing the Rock and Roll half marathon there in Phoenix, like race pace. Goal time or like your race pace for the marathon? It'd be interesting. I will ask Matt that. I mean, Mark asked me I guess when you sign up for these things, you got to like give your time that you think you'll do. I said 120. I think I can run 120. Oh yeah. What do you think? Yeah, I think you can. I don't know the course out there in Phoenix. I know it's relatively flat. Yeah. I can get under 120. Yeah. Maybe 117 mid. So much of it is the temps, Yeah. Any time it's pushing 70, 80, I mean, it's just really, heat is a real factor for me. And that'll be a big factor. And what was the temperature? Last year was hot. No, last year was perfect. 2 years ago was no really, wind, 45, 50 degrees. And the year before, it was the humidity and heat was very high, 78, 80. Yeah. We changed the course last year too. And last year we saw an increase of people that hit Boston qualifying times from the previous year, which was 3% of the field, up to about 8%. So there was a huge increase of speed on the course, but we don't know if it was course or weather. How many of the people, so of the 17,000, what's the breakdown between the half and the full? So in the 17,000, there's also some 5Ks, which is about 2,000. And then we have about 4. Do I have to pass these people too? No, they start after you. And just so, because everybody's asked me this, I mean, the previous charity chasers, how much, as they're starting to catch people, how much weaving and, or is it, at that point, is it pretty thinned out? You're going to, miles probably 3 through 9 or 10, it's going to be pretty thick because you're going to be running through all the half marathoners. No, also, I know. That's my point. And then once you make the left on Guadalupe, it'll thin out a little bit, which is. But can I run 12. Straight? Oh, yeah, you can run straight. Okay. We're planning on having an escort for you and things like that, little flag. draw some attention to you.
So here's an idea we had, because with all this gear like this, you see you can see all this gear. Well, you can see it. Nobody watching us can see it, but all of this gear, so we can stream live.
Oh, nice.
So we were kicking around this idea that we stream it and that we have a little counter, right? And so every time, so people, our followers or our members or whatever can watch, and then little ticker, just like every person we pass. Might get a little complicated trying to figure out who's in the half and who's in the full. I'm assuming the numbers are different colors, or
there's probably something we could work out there. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
The live ticker and all that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let people monitor the money raised, right?
Yeah, and most of the funds to be raised are going to be raised before that on the CrowdRise page that we've set up, right? Like our dollar donation for everybody you pass is a part of it.
Right.
But if we can get other people to commit.
And there's who matches, right?
So we match. And then our goal long-term is to get other people to match too, companies.
Well, let's talk about that.
And you have a relation with High Brew and the, tequila company. It'd be cool if they stepped up and like did $1 too, right? And, but if not, people can donate in any ranges of 5, 10, 20. I think I donated $100 this morning. Yesterday on Giving Tuesday, we did $10 for everybody who signed up for the half marathon or the marathon into the pool. So it's already starting to grow.
Yeah, so here's the stats, right? 2019 marks the 6th year of Austin Gives Miles. The goal is to raise $1 million. Austin Gives Miles is the official philanthropy or charity of the Austin Marathon. Raised more than $2 million over 6 years. The Moody Foundation. So they've agreed to match up to $10,000. That's cool.
So Ross Moody, long-term Austin resident, great guy, right? Loves the running scene and just such a generous family, right? For the last 3 years, for all of our charities that have raised a minimum of $10,000, they've matched another $10,000.
All of them?
All of them.
Wow.
So each year, Moody Foundation is kicking in anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 to get us to our fundraising goals. And we've submitted the application again. I figure that well will run dry one day, but every year they step up. We appreciate it.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man. And so in this, what is the page that we need to go to? So
the page, to make it easy, is youraustinmarathon.com. And the fourth tab is charity.
Okay.
And then there's a charity chaser page built out just for you. And that has a link to the CrowdRise donation page.
Yeah, come on, people. Help me out. Yeah.
It all adds up.
Totally. And these are the charities. So we're talking about charities. So these are you list the charities here. So you've got the hospital here, Seton, Austin Education Fund, Austin Parks Foundation, Back on My Feet. By the way, this Back on My Feet thing.
Yep.
I'd never heard of this charity.
Powerful.
Dude, and somebody emailed us the other day from the organization and asked us to come to the gala. Unfortunately, I'm out of town, but that's like too good to be true, right? Getting these people that are homeless / really, really, in a bad spot, running, right? And not just, but also holding them to it, right? Making them come, 30 days in a row at 5:30 in the morning, miss a day, you're out.
Yep.
And like the success stories are just insane.
Well, that's what's special about running, right? You just put one foot in front of the other, kind of like life, right? A lot of these guys have made mistakes and they're just trying to bring some normalcy back to their life.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But, that's why your story really resonated with Sean Livingston, too, one of the guys who runs with Back on My Feet.
Yes, who we're going to have on the Forward podcast, just so you know. Yeah. I don't know if he knows it or not, but we are.
No, and it's a great story, right? And Back on My Feet does some great stuff, just like all the other charities there. And
right. So this Livingston, he's a vet, was a vet, came back, had some injuries, had the obvious things that a lot of those guys have, and got addicted to opiates, and he came through Back on My Feet as well.
Yep.
Which, so just so you guys know, it's this, and again, I've not gone on any of the runs. I just learned about Back on My Feet the other day, but once these guys and gals commit, they have to pledge or promise or commit to running 30 days in a row at 5:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And then, I think they get swagged out. They get running gear and shoes and they get everything. But it turned his life around.
Yeah, and lots of them, right? Like they're one of the charities that come back year after year. They have a couple of events they do to raise some additional funds also. But They're one of the great, I listed about 10 or so of the charities here, but they were one of the ones that really we've had a long-term relationship
But there's
with.
more.
Oh, yeah.
How many total charities?
There's 28 to 30,
Okay.
right? And Ascension Seton is new this year as our title sponsor. Austin Ed Fund's a really cool one. That's Back to Track. And
what is the Gonzalo Cycling Initiative? I know what the Gonzalo is, but what is the Gonzalo Cycling Initiative?
Christopher Stanton runs the Gonzalo Cycling Foundation, and that they actually have the biggest party on the course at their aid station on the east side.
I really like these people.
Yeah, and they do all kinds of cool stuff. They have this program called the Holy Rollers, which is getting older people onto bicycles, like these big trikes. You get older, you lose your balance, but just keeping people active, right? And then they have a lot of youth projects where getting kids on bikes, keeping them out of trouble.
Yeah.
They also have a pod out at the Community First Village, which is the project that Alan built out there to provide
small houses.
Yeah, and it's for homeless people, right?
Right.
We're working with
theater and
which we're actually working with Tim League on doing a bunch of screenings to raise some money for the new running trail out there for those guys.
League, Forward alumni.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the very first guest on the Forward.
Oh, really?
Tim League. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I was like, how do I do this? Wait, who asked the questions? Do I ask them or do you ask them, Tim? No, and you know what's cool? Not to harp on this, but the Gonzalo is I for about 4 years of my career I lived in Como, Italy, and the Gonzalo is a gosh, what is it? It's like a chapel, right, on top of this climb, just outside of Bellagio. So you go, from Como, you go to Bellagio, then you climb up, and then at the top you have maybe it's called like the Madonna di Gonzalo or something like that. And so it's like a cycling history museum. So it's like the church of cycling history. So Coppi's bike is in there, Merckx is in there, there's jerseys in there, and the Tour of Lombardia, which is the final World Cup of the year, passes by there, and that's a cool name. Yeah. Yeah,
I bet that's where you got it.
Texas 4000. These kids, this is crazy. Like I've known about these guys forever. They ride from Austin to Anchorage every summer. These kids from the University of Texas raising money for the fight against cancer. All right, well that's cool, man. There's some great things here, man. And I'm psyched. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I think everybody is. The feedback on social media and everything has been real positive. A couple snide comments here and there, but well, that's social media, right?
That's all, yeah.
But we're pumped.
It wouldn't be our world if there wasn't some.
Exactly.
If somebody wasn't sipping the haterade. And what about the business of running? It seems to me that the quote unquote the business of running is doing good.
Yeah, it is, especially in like the mid distances, right? I think marathons are a little time consuming for a lot of people to dedicate the time you need to be successful doing those. But halves and 5Ks and 10Ks and event production's thriving. The running events here in town this weekend. Yeah,
that's right. The big trade show.
Yeah,
which is the reason Matt Hensley, my coach, is here.
Yeah, exactly.
He's here for this trade show. It's huge.
But it's good. There's been a big consolidation over the last 5 or 6 years of major events. We've been able to hang on and kind of stay independent, but it's really good.
Yeah. This is, and local people know this, but Austin is such a run town, man. Like the run scene here between the trail around Town Lake, the training groups, the shops, the events. I mean, this is a run city.
Yep.
I mean, this is a crazy stat, but our trail around Town Lake, which has multiple distances, is one of the most heavily trafficked run trails in the world. Yep. And of course, it's easy to monitor that now with things like Strava or Map My Run or
Map My Run was founded here, and then UA acquired them and built their headquarters here on Town Lake Trail.
That's right. Robin Thurston was the founder of that, and no, this is a big run community. Here's a question: like when people, and I should know this, but I don't. When they sign up, somebody signs up for the marathon. Yep. What do you guys get? Like, I mean, obviously give them the a T-shirt and all these things, but are they offered anything? Are they offered a training plan? Like, what if somebody doesn't have a coach and hasn't gone online and signed up for some training program? Is that an offer? Like,
when you register for any of our running events, you have the option to sign up for ARC, which is the Austin Running Club.
Gotcha.
And it's like $35 for the whole year. You get a discount at registration, and they do free training for the Austin Marathon year-round, series of events with the distance challenge that lead up into the marathon, which includes the 3M. But that is big, you know. And then we're lucky to have other great options in town. They cost a little bit more money, but you know, Rogue Running, Gilbert's Gazelles, they all have these pretty robust training groups for the more serious athletes.
Eric Stanley's
Eric Stanley's group. Trail Roots. Yep, they're all just great. Fleet Feet does some stuff with Audi in them, but the one we offer is ARC, which is kind of the umbrella network over the entire running community. Yeah, because it's only $35 for the year. Yeah. And then we support our runners with all kinds of digital assets in terms of, you know, tips on running and eating healthy and just tapering.
Is there live tracking during the run?
Absolutely, yeah. It's through the app, and then
the Austin Marathon app.
Yes.
And how often do you go through the thing where people can figure out where you are? Every mile, every 5K?
Pretty much every mile.
Really?
Yeah. So there's timing mats at a lot of. You know what? Let me back up. I think it's more like 5K.
We're gonna hold you
10K.
to it.
Hold me to it. We'll get Raul to donate some mats to us.
Yeah, was that the guy yelling at us at the start of the turkey trot, telling us to get behind the?
One of his guys, yeah.
Oh my God, this guy was. I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah, but we're gonna mess up all the results.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't have won my age group. Have I mentioned that I won my age group at the turkey trot?
I think you did.
5:45 pace.
It's pretty awesome. Is that what you're gonna hold for the marathon?
I will not be able to hold that. I will say that and we'll get into this more specifically with Coach Matt, but I mean, I'd like to run. I want to push myself, not just in the race, but leading up to it. So I think I can run. You know, this is not a fast marathon, but I'd like to think I can run 2:45, which is faster than I've ever run.
So I made a chart before I got here. So
good.
At 2:45, assuming that you start 15 minutes after the final starter. Under last year's results, you will pass the entire field except for 39 runners. That means you'll catch everybody that doesn't break 3 hours.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then, you know, take it down to the bottom of the chart. Same math on start time. If you run 3:15, you'll pass all but 237 runners, everybody that doesn't break 3:30. So roughly, 39.61 runners or 37.63 runners, or you completely fall apart. And
highly likely.
And if you do that, I'll still commit to one of the higher donations, just because I'll probably feel sorry for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's not going to happen. I'm taking this serious, man. Again, well, you know, I guess the good thing about the weather is that affects everybody, right? And so hopefully we get a pretty day and cool weather.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah. And, you know, the other thing too, which is just so important for running is just trying to stay, especially you start logging, you know, heavier, longer miles, longer weeks, injury free, man. It's how many people don't show up? Like if it looks like you have, I don't know, call it 4,000 marathoners. Yep. How many people don't show up?
So the longer the race and the earlier people sign up, the higher the attrition rate. And
right. Which you guys love because you get their money and they don't come.
Yeah, and we do transfers and we try to do refunds under certain dates and things like that. But it's about 20% in the longer races.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and then if the weather's horrible, it could go further, right? Yeah. Some people just wake up, they're like, no, I'm not running in that, right? Like 2006 during the huge freeze. It was 2006 or 7. I'm sure the people who didn't race was probably 35% or more.
Yeah.
But numbers are way up in all the events. So we're hoping to have 4,000 start, which would mean, you know, do the math, 20% higher than that on registration.
Yeah. All right, here's the last question. Because I thought I heard this, and I don't know if it's been decided or not. Was there talk of having the Olympic trials here in Austin for the marathon?
Yeah, there was. We were working with USA Track and Field on that. We got into the finals of the selection committee. Atlanta ended up winning it. You know, there's a lot of moving parts to that. There was a really great crew to work with, right? And I felt like it was really between us and Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I also hold a seat on the Sports Commission. I'm the chairman of the board there. So I was working with Austin's Visitors Bureau and the Sports Commission with their team there to try to get this thing here. And it really just comes down to one thing, which is the ability to write a very big check to get it here. Mm. And there's different tools we can use through the state, tax dollars and stuff like that. tourism, but it's something we really want long term, and we think we have a good shot at it for 2024
right,
Olympics.
So another 4 years.
Olympic trials.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a lot of history with USA Track and Field. I think Atlanta did. They're a very strong track club there. And yeah, I think we'll make another run at it next time.
Okay, let's remind folks, so go to youraustinmarathon.com, and then you'll see the tab for Charity Chaser.
Yep. It's charity, and then right under that's Charity Chaser, and that's where your page is.
Can we not make it more front and center? I mean, this is a big deal.
It is. It's right on the front page.
No, but it's like you tab this and go down and like I want to be like the front row Joe. Like, come on.
Create a video. Let's create a video.
Let's make a video. Well, we're doing this podcast. This is a video.
Oh, yeah. Well, and this will go out, right? I think the majority of the funds we're going to raise are through our promotions and the different corporate partners that we can line up to support it, right?
Yeah.
But hopefully after people hear this, they'll get on and drop $5, $10 in the bucket, you know?
Yeah. Hey, I'm excited. Jack, thanks for having me. Or thanks for asking me to do it.
Yeah, everybody.
I say that, I say thank you, and then I get to like mile 21. I'm like, that motherfucker. I hate that. Why, what's this charity thing? Like, what am I doing here? Like walking.
Yeah.
Walking the Azer. Nah. Yeah. All right, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. All right, here we go again. We're going to keep rolling on the marathon topic. This is you guys listening, we were just talking to Jack Murray, the owner of the Austin Marathon, who's asked me, this is how we all got to be here together, asked me to be the charity chaser. And I was like, okay, cool. And I can just go out and jog a marathon, I guess. But I was like, wait a minute, what if we were a little more serious about this? I was like, what if I got a coach? My buddy that I run with all the time here in Austin, Ashish Patel, or as my mother likes to call him, Hashish. I'm like, Mom,
tag him.
It's not hashish, it's Ashish. Oh, fiddlesticks, she says. I was like, how do you like that coach of yours? And he's like, oh, I love this guy. So I reached out to Matt Hensley, who's joining us now. I was like, what about a training program? By the way, for the record, for your record and everybody's record, I've never had like a serious marathon training program.
It's first.
This is the first one. This is the most structured I've ever been around running outside of high school.
Did you run today?
No, I'm working. It's early. I was up a little bit late last night, I must confess. And then we're working, and then I'm going to fly to Aspen. I'm going to run this afternoon. In just while you asked me that, it said I have to run 60 minutes today.
Yep.
That's just because yesterday. This is getting a little geeky, but I had my first speed workout yesterday, which I was surprised at the total volume. I mean, it was almost 10.5 miles of running.
Yep. Between warm up, cool down.
Warm up. So just so the listener knows, so I warmed up. I did 3 by 1 mile on the track with 1 minute in between. And again, this is all your punishment. And then my miles were 5. Oh gosh, what were they? 5:47, 5:37, 5:32.
Yep, great progression.
Which is pretty good. 5:32 was a little uncomfortable. And then jog over to a steep hill, 4 by 30 seconds sprint up the hill, jog down, jog back to the track, 6 strides, which I did on the football field.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just because I like the grass, I think, and like running on a soft, especially strides when you're running faster, more impact. And then ran home, and I had done 10.5 miles. And now I got to run an hour today. This is...
Well, you raced in 26.2, so we got to have you ready.
Yeah.
But what's great about that workout is it kind of has a wide range of stimuli. Yeah. The miles were kind of running around threshold. And you're just, for those that don't know, he's just getting going right now. Right. So instead of doing a threshold run, we did 3 by mile, and we kind of broke it up with a short rest. And then I had him go over to hills, do 4 by 30, and then some striders after. So we got this wide range of benefits from that. And for you, we're still, I think, 11 weeks out or so. So he's just getting going. So we definitely got a long way to go.
What is the most miles I'll do in a week?
If I tell you, are you going to be scared?
No. I'm down for whatever. I don't.
No, it'll kind of. We're going to play around with the next few weeks and see how you build up. But when you send over kind of the most that you did, we'll be topping that for sure. We want to get you. Possibly 70, I think 70 to 80.
What?
Depending, yep. So you better be doing those hip and glute exercises. I
know, and this is a cool point that you just bring up. I mean, for you, so much of, I mean, obviously of the training, the specific training, but also just the stuff outside of running, right? So just getting getting, whatever you call it, but just trying to essentially stay injury free, which is a big problem. You start running 70, 80 miles a week, people they break down, right? Whether it's, just fatigue, or they just get, the hips go, or the knees go, or the back goes, something goes.
Yeah.
I haven't been very good with that, by the way.
I'll stay on you. I tell a lot of my athletes that like just getting to the line of the marathon, healthy, confident, undertrained, is kind of key. You look around the field at the starting line, and I guarantee about half of them are already done before you get there. That gives them a lot of confidence too, lining into it.
Huh. Is there a way, I'm asking all these questions just because I'm thinking about myself. Is there a way that you can either project or accurately predict somebody's time? I think. So is there some workout? Is there some, if you did a half marathon, do you double it and add X amount of blah, blah, blah? I mean,
so the marathon is unique in that the greatest limiting factor, in my opinion, is the glycogen depletion. And so you can't necessarily take someone's half marathon time and say they're going to run this in a marathon. We can kind of guess around what they would do, but if they're not fueling correctly, or if the conditions are bad, then you can be quite off. But with you, we're thinking of doing, some race efforts about a month out. I think that'll give us kind of a good idea where you're at. Right. And then obviously a lot of my athletes, I tell them, like, I wait till kind of the day before, 2 days before, to really go over a game plan, just because weather conditions and other factors that kind of you don't know until race day. Yeah. I don't want them worrying.
And what was, because that was somebody I always used to say, there was this workout where you did 800s, like you did a certain amount of 800s with a certain amount of rest, and then there was like this multiple, and then boom, like magically that's your time.
No, definitely not with the marathon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I mean, and I think if you're a strong marathoner, you double your half and add 5 to 7 minutes is kind of a good idea. But a lot of athletes too, where, they're training through a half, maybe they're only able to run marathon pace, or maybe they're great at the half marathon, strong threshold, but they don't fuel correctly. So there's no direct correlation, which is why it's going to be so exciting in February. See what you do. And
when you say, the fueling thing, I mean, now we start to get into this stuff, which I love to talk about, just because I assume that people listening, are training for a marathon, they're interested in this because we're talking about running, and maybe they're doing the Austin Marathon or they're doing some other marathon, but most people don't know what to do, right? They don't know how to train, they don't know how to eat, they don't know how to recover, they don't know, you talk about shoes, they don't know any of these things. Like, and again, thinking all about myself, what are the 5 things, and it doesn't have to be 5, but that you just can't miss on?
Yeah, I'd say first and foremost, just having a structure and a foundation. So whether that's with a coach or your own system. Yeah, you got that one.
Got that one.
And within that foundation, not to get too boring, but for adaptation to occur, I like to say you place a stimulus on an organism, and then you let it rest, and then it adapts. And so with this foundation, the training that we have, you're going to be doing a workout, and then you're going to rest a few days. Then we're going to do a workout, and you're going to rest a few days. And, long run, rest a few days. And so this foundation that we create follows that structure.
Right. The flow.
Yep. So the second part would be keeping the athlete injury-free. So those hip and glute exercises I have you doing.
Yep.
If you
religiously.
If we want to get up to, 70 miles a week plus, and then, a couple 2.5-hour runs, we got to have hips, glutes strong.
That'll be my longest run, 2.5 hours?
Possibly a little more, most likely 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'll do a few of them.
Yeah. Oh.
So keeping the athlete healthy, and then in that I kind of tie keeping the athlete happy and confident. The training has to fit their lifestyle and what they're doing. I coach a lot of athletes that are like parents, or they have full-time jobs, and they have really ambitious goals, and sometimes less is more. Right. And it's hard to tell a competitive person that. Just like with you, the greatest challenge I think is telling you to slow down on your easy days.
Yeah. No, and
but as we build up, you'll start to be more.
Even
tired
yesterday, I almost wrote you back yesterday because doing those mile repeats, like that was too hard. I mean, but I have this. I suffer from like this. It's a syndrome. It's called go hard or go home. And so I nearly wrote you that. But
yeah, no, I grew up a huge Kobe fan, and it's a curse in running because having that mentality of all in and going for it can be counterintuitive in a way, and that you can't do that every single day.
She's told me you study all these guys. Like you read all about Jordan and Kobe and Tiger and try to understand, like, what is it that they all share, right?
Yeah, and then the sports psych side of things is really fascinating to me, and I thought it was pretty funny the other day. I give resources to all my athletes as far as getting them to compete at the highest level, and here I am sending Lance Armstrong sports psych stuff, how to be tougher.
Like what?
How to be tougher.
I was like, what is he sending me? Like I can't answer. Nobody's ever asked me this question. I just do what I do.
I'm obsessive. Yeah, I love.
Sorry, I didn't write you back on that one.
My athletes to perform at the highest level, and I try to give them every resource they can. So, so adding to your list there, you have the structure, the foundation. Second, I would say is keeping the athlete healthy. Right. Third is keeping the training exciting, fun, something that they enjoy. And then I'll just make a whole one of recovery, like the harder you train, the more you got to rest. That's a huge part of marathon training. And the biggest thing for the marathon training is fueling, I'd say. So the
training, but also race day.
Race day. Yeah. Yep. Just executing your game plan. So as we get closer, what I'll do is we'll kind of do runs just to look at your sweat rate. We'll do some test runs with different gels, drinks. We'll look at what's going to be on course for you at Austin, and we'll kind of come up with a fueling plan for you.
Yeah, man, people mess that up all the time. I mean, and I do too. I mean, I most recently just down in Costa Rica for this godforsaken mountain bike race. The day one, like, what are you laughing at, Dave? I thought you were laughing. It was terrible. Like day one, nutrition just shit the bed, and literally. And day two, just FYI, like, and even going back to my 2012 when I was doing, all these 70.3s, less is more for me. Like when I start jamming the calories, gut shuts off, just all the warning lights come on, and I'm in trouble. Right? Right. So I've found that just the less I consume on race day, right, better, right? And I think people just assume that they're out going as hard as they can so they can eat cheeseburgers every mile. But it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and practice makes perfect too. So we'll have some training runs where you're executing exactly what we'll do on race day. So I think that'll help.
Gels. I mean, gels are
the on-course drink, typically has carbs in it as well. Right. So you'll be taking some of that.
Yeah. And then I don't know what they use. I mean, probably, who knows?
We'll look it up.
Just here. We should have asked him.
Jack.
Jack's gone. He's gone. And what is Boulder Underground?
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people.
I looked at the Instagram. They don't have a whole lot of posts on there, but
we're just getting started. That's part of the underground, though. Is that
we're so underground we don't post.
We don't brag about what we're doing. Yeah. Nobody knows what we're doing. No, we a lot of the athletes I coach. It's from beginners to Olympic trials qualifiers, but a lot of them have that just same mentality, and some of them have kids and full-time jobs, but are waking up super early to go out and get their sessions in. And what I've always said Boulder Underground is it's more of a mentality, this pursuit of self-mastery, whether that's in running or whatever it is you do, and just to kind of go for it and be all in with whatever. But that's
your Boulder Underground is you, or that's a group of trainers?
That's all of us, all the athletes. We got athletes in Florida, Ohio, Texas, Colorado, everywhere. Yeah.
I have a whole character. I haven't done Boulder Dude in about a year. It's been a minute. No, more than a year.
I'd love to see Boulder. I'm from Florida, so I see Florida Man all the time.
No, Boulder Dude is well, you know this. You live there, so it's very there's a bunch of cyclists there, a bunch of endurance people, but just cyclists in Boulder. To me, and all the magazines are there, and the journalists are there. Like they're just all the same. And so I have this dude, and I haven't done him in a minute.
Well, now that you're a runner, I could probably make this joke. I think what they say is drivers don't like runners, runners don't like drivers, but drivers and runners hate cyclists.
Cyclists, we managed to give ourselves a bad name. I love cycling, as most people know, but it even when I drive down the road, I'm like, I see people that are 3 abreast, or I'm like, bro. Like,
I think it's impressive. Yeah, when I say that, I'm joking around. When I see cyclists going that fast down the canyon, I'm just like, man, I would just be an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah. And what about I'm going back to Aspen today, so it's
that's another factor.
That's a factor, right? I'm going to go back to 8,000 feet. There's going to be. This is actually, again, I'm just thinking about myself, people. There's going to be a lot of snow in the next 4 or 5 days. What happens to my training program?
So a few things. Right now,
the road's going to be covered. I mean, even the Rio Grande Trail will be snowed over.
Yeah.
The roads will be snowed over, iced. Can I run on a treadmill? I'm gonna have to run on a treadmill.
Yeah. So for easy days, I don't mind if you go out. I've been kind of preaching that to you, that the easy days, a lot of times for you, it's just going to be time on feet. We got to get you used to the pounding. So if it's an easy day going out for a run on the snow, it's totally fine. If it's a workout day, then we'll probably need you on the treadmill.
So intervals on the treadmill. Like if I had to do speed work. By the way, treadmills don't go faster than...
You may want to wear a helmet.
What are you talking about? Treadmills...
It's a challenge. Have you done a session on a treadmill?
No.
Yeah.
And I will be, let me tell you, they better have 38 mops there. I will be sweating. That place will flood.
You will, I guarantee it.
I sweat my ass off. Like I run hot, I sweat. But by the way, treadmills don't go faster than 6-minute miles.
Good ones do. A lot of them now will go 12 miles an hour. So actually, I've seen some now 13, 14. We got to get you to a good gym.
I know. I gotta find. I actually found a gym the other day that has. They've got that treadmill, the Woodland or Woodman or Wood.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Are those any good?
I actually haven't tried one, so you'll have to let me know.
And if it only goes 6-minute miles, I mean, you can just.
Yeah, we can manipulate the session.
Jack it up, like the percentage.
And you're going to be at a higher elevation as well.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah. No, it's a. What do you think? Yeah, that's a great question. Like if you were running 6-minute miles at sea level, what would it be at altitude?
Yeah, so it depends on the person. So where I'm at in Boulder is about 5,300, and I mean, depending on the athlete, 6 to 10 seconds, something like that. But there's been times
in adaptation and
and if you're more tired or whatever. But for you, being a pirate, it's going to be significant. So just something we'll have to be aware of.
10 or 15 seconds.
Well, for you is it 8,000? You said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd go with the 15.
Yeah.
15, 20.
Okay. How fast am I going to run?
I'm trying to get you to run slower.
Did you know, look at these, I don't know if you saw these stats here. Jack was just in here telling us the stats. So if I run, based on last year's results, this is cool. And I'm going to start like
10 minutes, you said, right?
10 to 15 minutes behind these other people. So if I run 2:45, which I think is what we've talked about, I pass everybody except for 39 runners.
Wow. Better bring your A game.
Dude, I'm bringing my A game. I've never had a running coach. This is like first.
So what is three flat? What does that get us?
3 flat gets you pass everybody but 107. But 3 hours. It's like 7-minute miles.
So the challenges for you, obviously we're gonna have to get you used to the pounding. You're gonna get the volume up and then the fueling. But my question mark here is the zigzagging between people. How do they?
So we talked to him about that. So for the first, because there's 17,000 runners, 13 of them are half marathoners, and they all start together. And for the first, I think he said 8 or 9 miles, it's on the same course. But he said there's not. You can always run a straight line. Okay,
that's good. Yeah, I'm super.
No, that would suck having to like weave in and out and like dodging people like laying down or at the feed zone. Like you can run a straight line.
Yeah.
And by the way, I mean the race starts. I believe it starts going out Congress and then comes back down first, and then you hit Caesar. These are wide.
Yeah.
You can put a lot of people on those roads.
I'm confident we can get you there. It's more of the timing. See, we started 12 weeks out, and we're just getting going. So, but yes, you're fully capable of running that fast. We can do that. I think we can do it.
Yeah.
So.
And then just trying to, I mean, I am going to stay on these little ancillary exercises because that's been a problem for me, man. Whether it's plantar fasciitis or shin splints or hip flexors and psoas, I'm like these things break down. I'm a big I'm probably 175, 180 pounds.
Yeah. So knock on wood, I'm on 11 years without injury, and I got parents as PTs, siblings as PTs, and I swear by those hip and glute.
And you're a fast runner.
I try. Yeah.
You've run what did I read? I read it on where did I read it? You've run 217 or 219.
219, yeah.
And you ran in college. You ran at University of Florida.
Yep. Just living the dream. Yeah, my dad was I grew up in a family of runners. My dad was a 216 guy.
What?
Ran with pre back in the day at Oregon.
No shit.
Yeah. Mom was a sub 3.
What does he think of him? I love that. Like you could say he was a total thunder douche, and that would be news.
We make fun of him. We joke he's like Forrest Gump because he ran at Oregon when Pre was there.
No, I'm talking about Pre.
Oh, Pre. Oh.
Did he like?
My dad's on a higher pedestal than Pre.
Well, yeah, but I like
yeah,
I always say,
he said it was awesome. Yeah.
Like if people ask these questions, like if you could have dinner with 3 people, who would they be? Dead or alive? And so I'm always like, okay, he's one of them, right? I would say, just so you know, I would say Steve Prefontaine, Pat Tillman, and Ann Richards. I think that's my 3.
But you're interviewing me.
But I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
But and unfortunately they're all not alive. But so he thought he was a cool guy?
Yeah. So my dad was...
That would be a bummer if he's like, no, he's actually a total dickhead.
No, he was great. My dad was a freshman when he was a senior, so the interactions weren't high, but yeah, he said it was awesome to be around there, and great teammate, great athlete, obviously, and
what a force of nature, like just a personality.
Yeah. So
Dad runs 2:16. Have you beaten your dad? You haven't beat your dad.
Oh, I'm chasing him down. So yeah, the Olympic trials qualifying time is 2:19 flat, and I've run 2:19.51, and then I've run a bunch of 2:19 to 2:20, low 2:20s and stuff.
And what pace is that? That's like
5:18, I think, is the qualifying pace.
My God.
So,
and that's just, I think about yesterday, like I can't, that's 14 seconds faster. That's just ridiculous.
Well, there's guys that run 4:38.
No, the world record, this dude breaks the world record, runs 4:37
I
or
was
4:38.
there. It was awesome. It was incredible to see. And he fueled very well. They added 5 extra stops for him. So.
Oh, really? Is that
yeah. We got to get you fueling more.
No, I know. I'm terrible with that. I don't drink when I'm out running. I don't eat. I don't do any of that. That is awesome. Okay, so a whole family of runners. Wow. Do you think they'll ever, everybody asks this question, we know that at some point somebody's going to break 2 hours in the marathon. And I mean a real marathon, not these things, around a track with draft, blah, blah, blah. Like an official marathon.
Yeah, I think what Kipchoge has done recently is kind of open everyone's eyes that it is possible.
He went to, what was his time? His new world record?
Yeah, 2:01 mid, and negative splitting. It was incredible. He's kind of opened everyone's eyes to what they can do, and I think with the right athlete, with the right tools and fueling, perfect conditions, I think it's still a little ways away, but I think he's showing that we can chip away at it.
Yeah.
So.
And he's Kenyan. All these guys they're all Kenyan, right?
Yep, Ethiopian. But the Japanese, it's incredible what they've done as well. They have like 3 times as many sub 2:10 marathoners as us, and I don't think it's genetic. I think it's just they just work super hard, not afraid to put in the big miles.
Yeah, but it's cyclical. I mean, every sport is cyclical, right? I mean, whether it's
but they've been doing it for generations. Yeah, it's been incredible.
In the shoe, like I'm just fascinated. To me, like you wear shoes, like shoes are shoes, and certain people like certain shoes, and some people have better luck with staying injury free with certain shoes. And I know you're a big fan of certain the shoes. These shoes now actually, I mean, Nike has the 4%er, which to me is crazy. Like if you're gonna say that shoe makes you 4% faster.
It was a study at CU Boulder, but it at certain paces, and there's different variables in that. If you're a heel striker, you get a little greater benefit than others.
I am.
Oh, there you go.
5%.
Yeah. See, so.
And that's legit. Like that really.
Yeah, I think a lot of the athletes I've spoken to that have worn them, and I've worn them myself as well, is the biggest benefit is kind of the later miles, just not having the dead legs and stuff. But to be honest, fitness is obviously the most important thing over shoes. And there's other brands that have great shoes as well for the marathon.
Because if you think about it, I mean, if say you run 2:45, that's 165 minutes. That's significant. Yeah, that's 5 or 6 minutes with a shoe.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing too for you, I think.
I'm in.
Yeah, finding the right shoe for you, because doing a marathon where your calves have blown up at mile 15 or something because you're wearing the wrong shoes is not a feeling. Yeah. You want to have those last 10, 11 miles.
Huh.
So.
And I was like the first time I did a marathon, I didn't train for it, so it was a miserable experience. But and people would always say. So obviously the marathon's 26.2 miles, but people would I thought they were kidding. They were like, 20 miles is halfway. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like you have 6 more miles to go. But it is true. Like the last 6 miles, I mean, if you're in trouble, then it is the worst experience. Which I was in trouble the first one I did.
I always use that Mike Tyson quote, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. With the marathon, like you got your game plan, you execute it, as well as you can, but the marathon, there's just so many variables, and it'll always humble you.
Yeah, the thing we have to, I was talking about this with Jack, like the weather in February 17th in Austin can either be whatever the ideal temperature is for a marathon, 40 and no wind and no humidity, or it can be 80 and high humidity.
So we'll adjust goals, depending on what happens.
Yeah.
So the goal is to catch that many people that you said.
Right.
So if everyone else is running slower,
well, that's the good thing about the heat and humidity is that affects everybody.
Yeah.
Except me, worse because I'm a sweater. Gosh, what else? Well,
we'll be pouring water cups all over your head then for sure. If it ends up being hot in your heavy sweater.
I was gonna rock like an old school sweatband.
Yeah. Maybe some high socks too, and.
No, wait, listen. There's a couple rules that I go by. No singlets.
I'd love to hear this.
No singlets. I don't rock.
So no shirt?
No, I will wear a shirt. No like runner geek singlet. No short shorts. No compression socks. Like
I think we need to embrace this new lifestyle for you now. Let's go hardcore runner. No. Headband. Yeah. Short shorts.
No short shorts. More like basketball shorts.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this contraption, because I'm sure people are looking at this going, what the hell is on the table?
This thing is amazing. If you're in marathon training, you got to have one of these. It's called the R8.
And you work for these guys too, really?
Yeah, yep. And it's funny, it was designed in the founder's garage, Jeremy and Adriana Nelson, and with rollerblade wheels. And basically, he got tired of like using a stick or getting on the ground using a foam roller. And it's like, man, there's got to be something out there that does the work for me. And couldn't find anything. And
he didn't want to spend $150 bucks on massage.
And being the engineer that he was like, you know what? Let's see if I can make some myself. And the original just looks like a scary torture device, but it's kind of evolved into this here.
Because this looks really normal.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like any torture.
And you haven't tried this yet.
I haven't tried it.
Okay, yeah. So these are the handles, and all you do is you rest on your quad and push and twist. So we'll start you there.
Okay. Can we see this, Dave? So right here, wait.
You want to get his face.
Can you make it
and keep your hands on those handles? There you go.
Can you make it stronger or weaker? So go here. Whoa. Whoa. And you just, oh my God, on the IT out here?
Oh yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Yep.
This is crazy.
This whole time.
Oh. What? So I need to be doing this?
Yeah, daily.
Well, I'm going to be on the plane today, be like.
Yeah.
The guy next to me is like, that fucking Armstrong has lost it.
The guy's crazy.
You're not going to believe what happened.
So yeah, after workout days.
Down, like all the way down?
Oh yeah, so for the calf, there's a little trick so you don't roll on your bones. You want to roll it from the back there. So as if you're pinching your Achilles.
What? Like this? No?
Here, I'll show you. So you kind of bring it back.
This is next level for the move. We have never had anything like, okay. Oh, backwards.
Yeah, and then if you lift a lot, you can do your forearms there, and you can actually get all the way up to your glutes and hip flexor too.
And what others? They make other stuff too, right?
Yeah. So we have a foot roller called the R3 for plantar. So.
Dude, don't even say it. If you say it, I'll get it.
If you got the right shoes, we'll be fine.
Yeah. I had plantar fasciitis. That, by the way, that's like an injury that's the most stubborn injury I've ever had. It's impossible to get rid of.
I read somewhere the most miserable thing you ever did was that marathon. Is that true?
No, the most miserable thing I'm stupid. I every time I do something, I always say it's the hardest thing I ever did. So, what, the Leadville Marathon?
No, I think it was
maybe New
Boston
York.
New York.
The first New York, when I didn't train and I had shin splints really bad before, and then ended up turning, because of the marathon, got stress fractures in both shins. It was terrible. So at that time, that was the worst thing ever. And then, a month ago, I'm down in Costa Rica. That was the worst thing ever. Day one of La Ruta, I don't ever want to be in that hurt locker ever again. That's just stupid. Like, I should never be in that place.
What was the distance of that one? Was it a marathon?
That was a mountain bike race, but it was, and it wasn't long. Like the first day, it was like 50 miles, but there was 12,000 vert.
Okay.
Hot and humid. And then day 2 was another 50 and 9,000 vert. And again, it was crazy just going back to the nutrition thing. Like day 1, consumed way too many calories, gut shut off, nauseous, wanted to throw. I mean, it was terrible. Day 2, I'm like, okay, Nothing. Very light. Dave, what did we do? We just went with like a simple sports drink, very, low calories, maybe a salt tab in the bottle, and totally different. It was top 10.
You're still getting carbs in, just not what you were doing the day one.
Right.
So,
and, carbs the night before.
Yep.
Lots of carbs.
Okay.
And so just amazing how important that is. And how people mess it up. Like, people screw that up all the time.
Yeah. Yep. I always say I'd rather you stop and use the bathroom if you have to than, not feeling correctly. It always, or slow down just to get your
We better not be
fluids.
stopping to go to the bathroom.
Will you stop your GPS watch?
No,
We gotta go by gun time.
You
gotta go
if
by.
you're in the race, you gotta go on chip time.
Yep. No cheating.
Have I mentioned that I won my age group in the turkey trot?
I think I did hear that.
We're
only 2 weeks into training.
Dude, this is
I'll take all the credit for that.
I will admit this because I didn't go out there and think that I was going to win my age group, but I could see how many people, and you're looking at a guy and he's a guy with gray hair. I'm like, how old is this guy? And so after the race, I texted Jack Murray. I'm like, dude, where do we find the results? And he sent me the link, and I was looking, clicked 45 to 49, and boom, 21 seconds ahead.
See, you don't want to
straight on Instagram.
You don't want to wear the running clothes, but you're doing all the things runners do now.
Yeah,
looking at your age group.
I'd rather win
posting
the
it.
age group in my gym shorts and put it on Instagram.
All right.
I'm psyched. No, I'm telling you, Matt, I am really psyched, and I haven't missed a day. Right?
Yeah.
Although I haven't run today yet.
What size shorts does he wear? I might get
large. I have a fat ass now.
Small.
Small. So Speedos. Speedos. We prefer that. What else, man? Are we good? I'm like I said, I'm genuinely excited. What other races what other age groups can I win? So if I do the half marathon in Phoenix, which I signed up to do, I put in there 120 as my time.
Okay.
I think I can do that.
All right. I like that.
I don't know what the course is like, and then any other race days?
I think if we looked 3 or 4 weeks before that, doing some sort of shorter race would be good.
That's in a few weeks.
Yeah, but the biggest thing for you is we have limited time, so I got to get the volume up, we got to get the long run in, we got to get workouts in. So it'll kind of just depend how it fits in the schedule. But yeah, we'll start looking.
4 weeks before that, I'm in Vegas.
They got races in Vegas.
I know. I'm going to look online. Today I'm going to go type in, the other day I typed in Phoenix run schedule, and the rock and roll thing popped up. And so I'm going to go look at Las Vegas run schedule.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need one more.
My buddy's turning, people are like, oh, what's he doing in Vegas? My golfing buddy's turning 70, so we're taking him out there.
Oh, man. That'd be fun. Where you guys? Well, I better not ask for it.
Yeah. Never mind. All right, Matt, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Pleasure.
Thanks for all the pointers and tips. And
yeah, this will be exciting.
By the way, I've never had training peaks.
Yeah.
This is the first time in my life. That?
Something to tell you what to do every single day?
And it emails me.
A reminder, yeah.
No, it tells me every day what to do.
Yep.
In my inbox.
So it's emailing you the hip and glute exercises.
It is, yes.
Okay.
And I see that, and I think if you read it, you get some benefit.
There's some YouTube clips there for you to follow.
It would, by the way, 10 links to YouTube. It would be better if there was just one. Somebody, why don't you make one program?
I do.
You should be the YouTube guy. You should put all of those in one video.
I'm not that interesting. No.
We'll get. But Tracy, it's Tracy, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Tracy, you should do it.
I don't know.
Yeah. She needs to be doing her hip and glute exercise as well.
Are you a fast runner?
I'm okay.
She's good at everything. Yeah.
But he's on me too about the hip exercise.
Yeah.
And he asks me to run.
I go around the office just telling everyone to be doing hip. I think we actually take breaks in the office occasionally and do exercises and meditation and all sorts of fun activities.
She's told me about this. He downloaded this meditation app. Headspace. And he said, because if you say meditation to me, I'm like what?
If I can get you to meditate, seriously? I can get anyone.
No, right.
So
dude, I can't meditate.
We'll try.
I run. I'm meditating when I'm running. But so he was like, this is a true story. He, for the first 3 or 4 days, he's like, this is lame, or this is hocus pocus. And then he started to notice a real benefit.
And then he ran 2:30 and was all excited about it.
Yeah. Then he upgraded. He bought the the nice one, the premium meditation app.
So having the ability to focus with pressure all around you, and it's a skill you can develop.
I've never dealt with anything like that. Ever.
Probably not. That's what I was joking about. I sent him some of the resources I send a lot of my athletes on how to perform at the highest level under big pressure.
Well, I'm glad
I didn't hear back from him.
I'll just read you some of this.
Maybe
it's 11 o'clock already. Hang on. Let me just read this very quick.
Maybe he didn't do any of them.
No. Hold on. So I need to create a personal mission statement and review it daily.
Oh, yeah.
I need to develop and strengthen mindfulness.
That's the biggest one he needs to work on, I think.
Visualization technique and positive self-talk /mantra. You know, the one thing that I do, you write it every day, and I truly believe in this, is this belly breathing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so when I'm out doing these easy runs, I really, and I told Ashish this the other day, like, I was always like a chest breather when we raced. And I think there's this whole stigma around, like, if you were belly breathing in the Tour de France, people would be like, look at this lard ass. Like, but it's so much better.
Yeah. And
so I have been really focused on
try to give a focus for every single day, even if it's easy days. And yeah, for easy days, that's one of them. Yeah. You joke around with all those things, but mile 20, you're going to be like, man, I wish I had done my meditation.
No, I'm going to download that app. Just shock the world. We're doing ads for these people now. Anyways, Matt, thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you.
Yep. Pleasure. I'm excited.